Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And we are now joined here by the Whole Health Way's own Susan Lunning. Excited to have her back here. So many titles to her name. I'll let her introduce herself. How you doing today?
Hi there, I'm Susan Wynn Lunning. It's Wednesday, and it's that time for you to check in to yourself and see what maybe your self-leadership is of yourself, your self-care, self-empowerment, self-encouragement, all those self things, and it starts with self. And the most powerful word to connect with yourself is the word love.
Aww.
The name of my business is called the Whole Health Way. And I implement a lot of my experience, my training, education, all of these things have all come together to help me to be the person, the being I'm allowed to be today.
Yeah.
And had some great opportunities this last week since last week we did Reiki on one of my clients, and she's still doing real good because she had a real psychological healing.
Wow. And thank you for letting us in on that, by the way, last week. We appreciate it.
Yeah. And so what a couple of things that I'd love to do today is just talk a little bit about connecting to source. You know, we've been talking about these last few months about the vision, your dream, how I've helped support people and guide people while they're navigating all the paradigms and these challenges while they're coming from their dream. One of the most important things that is needed for you to create the life that you love is the desire. How bad do you want it? I mean, is it burning inside of you? Is that fire lit? Because if it's a real desire and how bad do you want it, that's going to make a difference on how you, shall I say, persist and commit and stay committed to that vision, no matter what happens.
Got it.
And so I'd love to share just a couple little things that I feel that will help support you. This will be my last time that I get to visit with all of you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So on Monday, I'm going to have cataract surgery. And that's a dream of mine come true. I do a vision workshop. But part of my vision for my life, my health and well-being, was to be able to see, because I've been legally blind most of my life. And being able to create the resources to be able to pay for this, for my quality of life, means everything to me. So I'm very, very thrilled about that. And so this persistence that I've had for all of my life and committed to being, to really have a high quality of life, to really see, increase my seeing in all levels. So in transcendence that I just recently got trained in, there is the first thing that's important for us to do is to connect with source. And I take my clients through a wonderful program that's called the Brave Thinking Activation Process. And there's five S's in it. But the first thing to do is to be able to connect with your source.
Okay.
That's in that stillness, that time when you can, really have that stillness of your mind. And so the purpose for connecting to source, and if you want to open up the lines today, if there's anybody, that has some questions, or that's certainly available to you also.
Absolutely. Let me tell them the number too, 631-317-1291. If you want to call again, it's 631-317-1291 to talk to Susan Lunning today. Please feel free to give us a call. Go ahead.
Thank you. And so connecting to source, this is the dream part. because our higher selves were these spiritual beings having this human experience. And we don't want to connect with the part that's at the level of fact and looking at the box and,
Yep.
oh, I can only do what it says in my bank account. I can only do what my boss says.
Yeah.
So not giving ourselves permission to be more and be creative, like we were when we were children. And so the purpose is to connect your higher power, your inner wisdom, and optimize your practice for spiritual growth and transformation. And that's what I do. When you're a client of mine, you are embraced and you are wrapped with so much love and support on this journey. And the element to do that is your actual dream.
Yeah.
And your vision. What would you like to,
Mm-hmm.
create? What's your desire? And the feeling connected with that. And that's why, emotions, can go all over the place and it's wonderful, but it's so important to have the feeling attached to your dream. How
Yeah.
do you feel that, these things have materialized? How does that feel for you? I know
Wow.
doing an audition years ago for the lottery, and they took all these different takes, and they say, okay, how do you feel?
Yep.
What does it look like now
And you're
that you've
trying
just
to.
won the lottery?
Yeah.
And then capturing that, and so that was really fun with a lot of faces and jumping and things like that. That inner child came out. But the affirmation when you're connecting with source is today, I align my mind, my body, and my spirit with creating and living a life I absolutely love living.
Wow.
And so a part of that is that whole visualization. When we were young, we had our, what were they called? Our, not our, what were they called? When, I remember studying at his imaginary friend, right?
Okay.
Their
Yes.
imaginary friends. So I remember for one of my children's birthday party, he was 3, and I actually set a place setting at the birthday table for his friend
Wow.
because that's how it goes. Everybody's invited, and it was just hilarious. But imagining your vision and your dream, and you keep that with you, and you visualize the ideal results, the goal, vision, and dream. And then you move the movement that you do, and that's where it goes on to all the stages of transcendence, is the inner contemplation, journaling or writing. That's
Wow.
where everybody says to journal. That's where everybody says to write.
Yeah.
And the breathing is just normal. You don't have to do, no, just normal.
Yep.
And your voice is silent,
Mm.
so you can listen.
Wow.
And so connecting with source is the infinite side of you, and really you'll go with a question.
Yep.
And you want to ask a specific question to get your specific answer. Okay. And then you sit and you listen in this silence. That's a challenge for a lot of us, just to listen in this silence. You ask this question, this specific question, and you wait for your higher self, source, spirit, universe, signs, whatever, to tell you what it is. And you can hear it if you're still enough.
Yeah.
And the answer is there. All you got to do is ask yourself, and you've got the answer. You don't go to, we talked about this one other time about, going to other people, like you have a problem and it's like, oh my gosh, you can't deal with it. So you go to somebody else. And that's nice, but you're the only one who knows you and knows what you would love and what your next step should be. And this is the power that you can take connecting to source. And then you'll get all these ideas, and then write them all down. Just all these ideas, even if they're wild, you don't edit them because they're from your higher self. And then you just circle them. the ones that, really make you come alive that you'd like to do.
Yeah.
And then from there, you select, you just kind of prioritize the ones that you've circled, and you just go ahead and prioritize the ones that you'll want to act on first. And then from there, you get to schedule that in your calendar. So one of the things in dream building that I do with my clients is, okay, the next action step, we've got the idea, this is what I'm supposed to do, or I'm going to do this. Okay, so by when?
Mm-hmm.
So you put it in your calendar and you schedule that's by when, this date, this time, you're going to be working on that.
Wow.
And the universe sees your calendar. That's your attention, where you put your attention. So that's why things happen where we forget, right? Oh, I'm going to do this. And I always wanted to do that, right? Okay. So you take that energy by when, and you put it in your calendar. Well, if, something happens, then you reschedule it, right? From that time. And then the neatest part is then you serve it. This is how you serve your dream. So you serve that time, those ideas, those images that you put in your calendar with full moon energy. What's the peak time? Is it early in the morning? Is it starlight, sunlight, sunrise, sunset? When is your peak time? And then you've served that with your full moon energy. You know how during the full moon, how everything changes when but think of that energy. And we're always required to do something, but that's how you serve your dream, step by step by step, doing what you love. That's how you shift the energy and the vibration to the frequency of the life that you love living. So, and then I'll ask to get maybe a copy of the calendar to kind of help support them with that too, because most of my clients are all self-employed. They have their own business. And they understand the self-care piece is what they've left out of the equation in their business, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what I did. And I think that's what we all do. But really our strength and our power for ourselves is within ourselves. And that's where we go. And during the pandemic, that really showed a lot of us. And if you can think of one thing that you can start doing, and maybe one thing that you could stop doing.
Yeah.
And look at where your energy is going. Where is it leaking?
Wow, you're right.
Conserve your energy.
And it'd be nice to have energy all the time and to have that positivity all the time, because what it could do to you, right? We've all been through situations and times in our lives, you included, I included, where we've been down, depressed, not feeling good enough, not feeling right. And our energy level is here. And so we're vibrating very, very low, right? And is it the higher vibration is when we're feeling happy and positive? And
well, yeah, and it is, but there's a lot of turbulence until you get right into the flow of the jet stream. I've used the analogy of buying the ticket to your destination, to wherever it is. You go there, you get all checked into the airplane, and you all load the airplane, your luggage, you listen to the stewardess do all these things, and then as you're going straight up, right?
Yeah.
Then that there's going to be turbulence until you get in the flow and into the jet stream. But see, that, and you understand that that's part of your destination.
Yeah.
Right. And you listen to the other ones on the plane, or that your ears are popping, your stomach, you want to throw up, or whatever it is. There's all these physical things that are, triggered maybe, right? But guess what? We all know it's what? Temporary. Because we know, we have to go through some turbulence on the flight, or some inconvenience to get to our destination.
Yeah.
And we're willing to do that, aren't we? So it's really no different with our dream. We buy the ticket, we wrote our vision, we got the desire, we're committed, we're going to be persistent. You know, we have the destination in mind, but what's the important thing here is who you become in the process,
Yeah.
and letting go of the things that you've used to block your light for decades. You know, the negative self-talk. But really, how we're designed in our human earth suit is we do have the self-sabotage, or we do have the resistance in us. And that's where we get the opportunity to be brave, to have the courage, and know that what we would love is just really on the other side of that fear. And it's great news, because that means you're growing. So if you just sit there on the couch and watch TV, you know, and eat or whatever it is, your life is just going by. You know, your paradigms aren't going to be bothering you, because you're not doing anything to get out of your comfort zone. And we know that successful people are willing to be uncomfortable in the interest of growth.
Got it. And again, lines are open 631-317-1291. If you have any questions for Susan Lunning, remind us of the website and how we can contact you.
Yes, it's the THE whole, WHOLE, health, all spelled out, way, WAY.com. And go to my website and schedule your opportunity for a 1-hour consultation with me. And you'll get to fill out a very short questionnaire, and we'll visit and we'll unpack the things that are stopping you from living the life that you love. And if you would like to have, or if you'd love to have somebody like me support you on that journey, you know, my clients are lifelong, you know, and it's a wonderful friendship, and it's a lot of fun, you know, so this is a great thing to do for yourself. And, you know, this last week, I've got my, I don't know if you can see it, it's my Heroes for Home Care
Oh,
t-shirt,
beautiful. Wow.
right?
Yep.
And I had an opportunity, one of the caregivers for Heroes for Home Care, because we're wanting to do things different, right? We're wanting to really love up and care and invest in our caregivers. And so one of the things that I get to do as a life mastery consultant, my core values, is that I walk the talk. I live what I teach.
Yep. Not everybody
And
does. You practice what you preach. Yep.
yes, and you know, that's very that serves me very well, but sometimes I don't always do it as much as I'd love to. But everything came together, like I said at the beginning, all of my education and experience and all of the things that have happened to me into this moment help prepare me to be with that beautiful young woman. And she shared her dark night of the soul.
Wow.
And she said, I just don't know how I'm going to do it. And so I just, you know, I meet people exactly where they're at, but to authentically share, you know, what your dark night is. And if you think you can do this on your own, good for you, good for you. But, you know, we're not meant to do this alone.
Yeah.
We are meant to ask, you know, and when we ask, we receive, but we just get all thinking that I should be able to handle this myself. And that's where all the mental breakdowns happen. And then we just start shutting down. So I just would, you know, well, you know, if anybody wants to call in or not, but I'm going to read a little bit about what is Reiki, and what are the benefits of Reiki. So Reiki is a method of stress reduction. You know, just think about that. It's a method of stress reduction. You know, that's what causes all of these problems. Stress reduction and relaxation that also promotes healing. The word Reiki means spiritually guided life force energy. And it was developed in Japan in 1922 and brought to the West in 1937. Its meaning comes from two Japanese words, Rei, R-E-I, which means God's wisdom or the highest power, and Ki, Ki, which is life force energy. So that's another way you can tap into source by, reducing your stress and relaxation. So Reiki is based on this idea that unseen life force energy flows through all things. When we're feeling down, like you were talking about earlier, when we're feeling down, our life force energy is low. When our life force energy is high, we are more likely to feel happy and healthy and well balanced. By channeling energy in a particular pattern, restores energy to the body that has become unbalanced or blocked. And that's all that I do, is just work with this energy and in just a little pattern to help when the person is ready to let go of these things that aren't serving them anymore. And so what are the benefits of Reiki? Reiki energy allows muscles to relax. And so then it's able to increase the blood flow to the treated areas. Like a gal I had a couple of weeks ago had terrible abdominal pain. So see, we were able to open up the blood flow so it can go to that area so it could heal and expand and release. And so which in turn quickens the healing process. So the practitioners and clients report help with stress, headaches, insomnia, upset stomach, sprains, and other minor conditions. So, occasionally there's miraculous results that are reported. Every time there's been a miracle, because that's what I believe in. Because I see the light in people and I know that there's so much more than their conditions and the circumstances or the pain they're going through. There's so much more than that. And so Reiki also promotes psychological healing, including the release of anger, fear, worry, sadness, and any other unhealthy feelings. And it replaces it with self-worth, confidence, and tranquility. So we help escort out the negative energy, the dark energy, and then we bring in, so there's room for the light and this self-worth and the confidence, and then your chakras spin healthy and the colors are bright and your light is brighter. So we have control over this ourselves. Nobody can help us except ourselves. But when we refuse to go to ourselves or we don't trust ourselves, then that's where the block is. And this helps your medicine work better. It helps everything else that you're doing. It helps surgery. It makes you heal faster from surgery and all these kind of things. So you can bet that I'm going to be doing some self-healing on Monday, and then the week after that. So that's how we love up on ourselves in our journey.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for receiving.
Well, I'm really wishing you all the best of luck with everything that, your journey embarks on, and your vision and your work, all you're doing with the veterans and all those people that you help on a daily basis, and you will continue to. And by the way, what's the movie you're in again? I have to check that out.
Oh, it's Fortnite. There's other movies online that I've been in, but let's see if I can find it here.
Do you have it behind you? Yeah, I can always say, I'm like, I got to watch that movie one day. How adorable. I love it. You are a superstar in every.
Yeah. And, we all are.
Yes.
And that's what we get to believe, and that's the journey that you see Mallory go through in this movie. I mean, it's hilarious. It's a comedy. But the very last part is you really understand why she was acting out and doing all these crazy things. Everybody was trying to get rid of her because they couldn't stand her. She was crazy. She was whacked out. Nobody could take her. But you find out the real reason why she did all these things in the end. So It's and I do have all my clients watch this
Yep.
movie.
At the time that you filmed that, were you healed in a sense, or was this before your own healing? So did you really relate to that character? Was it
You know, does the chicken or the egg?
yeah, all right.
You know, but this was beautiful because this is what started my journey to help me understand that I didn't love myself. And I was in the, you know, look at me, you can't tell that I was depressed and I had a broken foot and I had cortisone shots and I
No.
was almost 200 pounds. And it
Wow.
was after that that I started to listen to my body and think about what I really loved. And it wasn't convenient and it didn't work out for the people that were around me, but I did it and here I am.
Wonderful. And what do you want to leave with your audience and listeners? The past few months, we've learned so much from you. What else do you want to share before we have to go, Susan?
Well, a real selfish, beautiful dream that I've had all of my life is to be on a billboard promoting health and wellness. And, you know, through connecting with you, with BPN, that is what I wrote on my vision 3 years ago, was that I was going to be on a billboard.
Yeah.
And so I know I'm working with Ashley and with everybody at the company, but, and it'll get to be up for a week and it'll be on Times Square. And so when I'm sharing my dream, I said, you know, my dream was always to be on a billboard and now I'm going to be on a billboard. And then you're going to see the picture. I don't know if I'll be able to go to New York when it's up or not, but you know, you can have whatever you would love. Just believe in that. I had no idea, you know, but I had that on my vision board. I had the billboard. I made the billboard of what it is.
And you're turning your dreams into reality. Yes.
You can do that too. And so you helped me to create my dreams into reality. So thank you so much, Jill.
Thank you so much. And so now you, after this major goal off the vision board, and there's more to come. It's always about the climb, right? Not just getting there. Now there's something else. That's beautiful part of life. And you realize your whole horizon expands. So congratulations on that and for coming so far with all you've done. And hopefully you will make it to New York. If not, you got to do a live Zoom and take pictures. I can't wait to see it.
I would love that, Jill. And hopefully we could meet up. You know, I know things are all the restrictions and with the pandemic and things. So, but I would love that to be the next step, that I get to meet you in person and see the billboard.
Well, I hope so too. I guess Ashley will keep in touch with me and let me know as well, but I really look forward to meeting you. We will cross paths again. It's meant to be for sure. And I've had such a pleasure working with you and your clients, and everyone's been so amazing. You taught me how to ground, to be a little calmer, to be more positive, if that's possible. Yeah. Because there's days I'm not, you know, thank you for sharing all your experiences and looking forward to when we meet again, Miss Susan Lunning, thewholehealthway.com. Don't forget, log on, get your free gift. And that's where on the website exactly?
Well, if you type out the wholehealthway.com/gift, you'll get to see a webinar that I did a few years ago that gives you an idea about some of this science technology on how to build the life that you love to live.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Have a great day. Blessed week. Talk to you soon, hon.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, you know, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.